What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the complete opposite of my last video, which was my 2019 drugstore favorites. Today are my babies. This is my 2019 favorites that are either mid to high range to luxury brand items. So if you are interested in seeing what my picks were for 2019, and I'm also going to be applying them, then just keep watching. To start, this pick was closer to the end of the year, but nonetheless still fantastic. This is the Farsali Unicorn Antioxidant Lip Mask. I usually pop this on right at the beginning when I'm doing my makeup, and also sometimes at night, but normally when I'm doing makeup, I like that it has enough time usually when I'm applying to soak in, and I enjoy the smell of it. It does smell exactly like the Unicorn Essence from Farsali, but I am a fan. I really like it. It has like that sweet, kind of like almost like a cotton candy type smell. For primer, of course, the Farsali Unicorn Essence. I am almost finished with this, and that's a huge, like for me, that's a huge big thing to be finishing up makeup. So, and I'm kind of sad because if you watched my goals video, you know that I'm on a no buy. So I'm trying to use it sparingly, but I think I only really have a few uses left out of this. Now, a lot of people think that most of the Farsali products are kind of gimmicky and they really don't work, but I find that this is light enough where it doesn't leave me greasy, but it also gives me just enough hydration, because in my T-zone I'm oily, here I'm pretty dry, and I find it gives just enough hydration and moisture that it really helps my makeup stay on. So I really enjoy this. It helps me eliminate the cake face look, which I normally don't go for anyway, but this was a big hit for me. I did forget, before I started, I did moisturize, and I did use this is from Glow Recipe, and this is the Watermelon Pink Juice Moisturizer. It smells so good. I am very much a soft fragrance person, especially when I'm starting my makeup. Like, I love the Farsali, I love this smell. I know that's kind of interesting. In one of my last videos, where I think it was my last BoxyCharm video, the LMS oil, it's very, very potently fragranced as rose. I like it, but as a skincare product, that's not what I'm looking for when I'm doing a skincare regimen. So that's kind of the deciding factor there. But in like cosmetic products, I don't mind that some of them are scented, unless it's going to irritate my skin, which I've had really good luck so far. My concealer choice for 2019 is definitely the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer. I really enjoy this concealer. Even though I don't wear a ton of concealer, I find that I'm able to do spot treating with this. I actually can use this as a no makeup look, where I know that I'm wearing makeup, but it just has such a nice pigmentation formula to it that if I want to put just a little bit, like right here on the redness that I normally have, it really blends out smooth, where I don't even need to put foundation on. Now, of course, for today's video, I will do foundation. I picked up the shades C10 and C13. It says online that this has an olive undertone, which I don't know if I see that. I don't know if it's just kind of how it reacts with my skin, but I really enjoy how this goes on, how it blends out. So I wanted to show this first. I mean, look how the coverage, isn't that crazy from a concealer? So I will use this a little more sparingly than what I put on just now if I'm doing a no makeup look with this, where I just kind of want the tones in my skin to balance out a little bit. I'm not a huge concealer person. I used to be very much. It used to be probably one of my favorite products. But this definitely took the cake this year. Now, in light of using products, you know, I'm a fan of using products for maybe more than what they were intended. I definitely use this as well for my eye concealer or eyeshadow base, whichever one you want to say. And I take my sponge as well. and I find this gives me a really nice base. It dries down and it still gives you a little bit of that tack, so your eyeshadow will really pop. This next category is probably for me the hardest because I am an eyeshadow fiend. I love eyeshadows. So I have 3. I could not just narrow it down, and I think I have good reasons, so hear me out. So probably my top pick is going to be the Tati Beauty palette. This palette has gotten, I've seen some mixed reviews. I am a fan. The mattes in this palette are, for me, the mattes in this palette are just unbelievable. They swatch, they blend, they're just so easy to work with. And I think that's why I like it so much. It's just the ease of use. The glitters are by far some of the best glitters that I've ever used. Now, I will be mentioning an indie brand for glitters as well, but if you just need like a one-stop shop like this, for me, I can pop this in my travel bag and go, and I can get a range of looks from this. So Tati really did an amazing job, I feel, with this. This is definitely one of my big winners. Now, I know because this came out towards the end of the year, so, you know, everybody's like, well, how is that your most used? Well, this isn't my most used, this is my favorite. So for a whole, on the different side of that spectrum is definitely going to be the Jawbreaker and the Mini Breaker palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Now, I did do a few looks with these on my channel, but I mean, if you're looking for color, where you don't need anything else really. I mean, this has all of your beautiful pops of orange and red, very summery sunset eyes, your beautiful pinks, your darker blues. It also has your brown. This is a fantastic inner corner and also a highlighter shade, and that is in the color Snack. I find that this is very versatile. I love how these pigments blend. Now, I will say that the only colors in this palette that I was not a huge fan of, I don't know if it was just blendability or pigment, but they just kind of missed the mark for me. I would say were Gumdrop and Sour and maybe Cute. Cute I can kind of work with sometimes. It just wasn't that mint push that I was looking for, because there's a fantastic like a mint teal color in the Thirsty palette that's amazing. So, but I really liked the broad spectrum of color, the mattes and the shimmers. This orange juice color is everything. So this was definitely one of my top picks for 2019. And the Mini Breaker, I'll say, and I'm combining them because they came out together. So this color Slice and Orange Crush and Double Scoop, unbelievable. So actually, I may use those today. I may do more of like an orangey type eye. So I'm going to pop you into fast forward so I can get through my eye look, just so you can see the colors and how they blend out. So I'll use, for this video, I will use the Jawbreaker and the Mini Jawbreaker. Eyes are finished, and let's move on to the face. And I will come back and finish the eyes with lashes and such here in just a minute. So one of my absolute, I would say this may be the product of the year for me. And it took me a long time to purchase this because of the price tag. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter highlighter, and this is from Charlotte Tilbury. You can see it's been very loved this year because a lot of the writing is off. This is in the color Fair, and at first this product I wasn't really sure how to use it because it comes almost like in a foundation bottle, but the highlight that and the glow that this gives your skin, and just that real it's almost like a muted luminosity, but muted isn't the right word for it. So I normally take this and I put this right on the high points before I do my foundation and kind of where I want to be highlighted. And sometimes I will go back in after I do my foundation to put on a little bit more, but let's kind of see how this goes. I'm trying to work some of the water out of my sponge. I don't think I squeezed enough out. And this is really great when I would do my no makeup or my light makeup, like when I just do my concealer to spot conceal and I mix this into it. Oh, it's divine. For foundation this year, I had a really difficult time choosing because a lot of the foundations that I have been gravitating to are drugstore foundations. I feel like the drugstore kicked their foundation game into high gear this past year. So this one I did pick up in 2019. This is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation, and I tried the Longwear, what is that one called? The Longwear Radiant, and it looked horrible on me. So I did try this one. I love this foundation, but another non-cruelty free brand. So when this foundation is gone, it's going to be gone unless NARS decides to get their act together, which that would be fantastic, NARS, so please get on that. So I normally, this one I can really do brush or sponge, and I think I'm going to do a brush today. And this is the IT Cosmetics Love is the Foundation. And the finish of this one is so pretty. Very luminous, but I find that it stays. I have pretty good lasting luck with this one. Now I'm just gonna go in with my sponge just to kind of make sure that all of there are some lines. So I just make sure that, you know, those are blended out. And also it shears it down just a touch, not a whole lot. But I never like feeling like I have a foundation laying on my face. For bronzer this year, I did pick up this NARS, and this is in the Seaside shade. I really enjoy the undertone of this. I find that it does look pretty dark, but it does not go on as dark, and it blends like a dream. Again, NARS, can you please get on the cruelty-free train? That would make a lot of people happy. This was one of my pickups, I want to say, well, it had to have been at like a Target, or not, I wish, at like a Home Goods or TJ Maxx. Because I know I wouldn't have paid full price for it. And this was purchased before I kind of started to get on the I'm not gonna buy any products from companies that are non-cruelty free. So right now I am just trying to use what I have, as sad as that is. I see, you know, it's kind of interesting, and this, I guess, maybe a tangent moment, so beware. You know, I understand people are committed in their beliefs, and that's fine. You know, I am trying to be more conscious about, you know, things that I might be wasting or not using products, which is, you know, like I said, attributed to my no buy for the year, amongst other reasons. But I don't understand people that can just throw out perfectly good product. Like, I understand now that NARS is not a company that I want to support moving forward unless they change how they're testing their product. But all of like the NARS makeup that I have, I paid for. So whether I am throwing it in the garbage can or using it, they still got their money. So I guess maybe I just don't understand that mindset, that philosophy. I understand how people can be so passionate about causes, and I completely am on board with that. But to throw away products that you've already paid for, I kind of feel like that's cutting your nose off to spite your face. Maybe I'm wrong. How do you feel about that? Like, do you just throw stuff away if you decide you're no longer supporting a company or brand? Or do you use what you've maybe previously purchased and just make plans to not purchase in the future? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really interested. I can see both sides. For me personally, I'm not throwing away any makeup unless it's finished, it's expired, or I break it. I do have a Too Faced bronzer that I have, and I've chosen to not support Too Faced anymore just because I think that the people that work for them are vile. So will I promote them on my channel? No, probably not. I think I literally have one thing from Too Faced in my collection. Everything else I've used up or gotten rid of. So, you know, I don't see the value in throwing a perfectly good product away if you've spent your hard-earned money on it and your views change after. And maybe that's just my humble opinion. So let's talk about how I'm gonna set my face. So I am going to use probably one of the bougiest products I have. And you know what? That's okay because I like it and I'm gonna use it. This is the La Mer Loose Face Powder. This is like unbelievable in a jar. I typically do not use a whole lot of face powder only because my skin does tend to get dry and I'd like to not look any older than what some parts of my skin are beginning to look. But this powder, it almost is like it's hydrating as you're putting it on. I know that sounds really strange for a powder to be hydrating. You'll see. So I take this and I press it. I don't go right up underneath my eye, but I put it right here on the edge of my nose and just kind of bring it out. And it just gives the most beautiful airbrushed look just ever. Now, if I had remembered, well, I don't use it for this because it's so expensive that I will only use it for certain things. In my drugstore makeup, I know that I set parts of my face with powder over the primer before I did my foundation. I will use a finely milled powder to do that, but this is not it because this one's expensive. And I really am trying to prolong having to repurchase this. This is a repurchase item. I will save the money to rebuy it when I do run out because there is no powder that does what this one does, hands down. So if you are in the market for an amazing face powder, if you are a powder person and you just haven't found one that sits, this blows every other powder out of the water. Laura Mercier, the Jeffree Star powder, Pretty Vulgar, Hourglass, all of them. I like all of those, well, except the Hourglass one. We'll talk about that in a different video. And typically I use my Jeffree Star powder often, almost daily, but this one is my absolute favorite. All right, so we're looking very smooth, very airbrushed in this area, which is my favorite. So next I'm gonna go in with some blush. I am a Kylie convert. I will admit it. I said previous to this year or last year that I would not buy Kylie Cosmetics. I didn't want anything to do with it. It can't be that great, blah, blah, blah. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. I know. I was wrong. Their blushes, mainly this one, because this is my favorite, are some of my absolute favorite formula. This is in the color We're Going Shopping. I love this blush. It blends. It doesn't give you like a clown type look, and it just gives the right amount of color. How her stuff blends is so good. It's not chalky, it's not powdery. You can dig around in this and it doesn't give you a bunch of kickback. I really like her blush. I do have some of her highlights. I'm still using them, so I couldn't really put those in for a favorite because I had not used those. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead in real quick and finish the bottom. Why can I never say that? I'm gonna go in and finish my lower lash line, and I'm using, again, the Jawbreaker palette, and I'll be right back in just a second. And I'm back. I went ahead and put on some lashes just because they're not necessarily my favorites and they're from the drugstore. But if you're interested, they are the Kiss True Volume Pumped Up Effect lashes, and they are in the style Natural Black Ritzy. So they, I don't know, like sometimes I really love them and sometimes I really don't like them. So I also went ahead and penciled in my brows real quick, and I did that with my favorite brow product from this year, and that is going to be the Brow Pencil from Kylie Cosmetics. This is in the shade medium brown. So I normally do my eyebrows after I do everything else, just so I can kind of see how much I need. I don't like my brows to be super in your face. So let's see. So at this point in my makeup routine, normally what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray my face with the setting spray, and that's just to kind of give that powder that I put on just a few minutes to kind of soak in before I actually go in with some other things. So my high-end pick, it is not the Tatcha spray this year. This is the Iconic London, I believe it's called Prep Set Glow. It is a water mist, and it does have, like, when you shake it, you can see like the sparkly in it, but it doesn't come out as glitter, which is really nice. It gives you that really beautiful glowy effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a bath in this. And it smells really, really good too, which is nice. So I just give that a second just to let that soak in. And you know, I like this, but I feel like it accentuates the foundation nicely because that foundation is more of a radiant finish. So this definitely gives that, but it's not overkill. It's not too much. So it's very healthy looking and it's very light at the same time. So for highlight, my favorite highlighter this year, and this may or may not be any surprise to you, this is Diamond Wet, and this is by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is one of the Supreme Frost, and I know that there's been several Jeffree Star products. I can't help it. The man makes some banging makeup. So this highlighter, this is the only Supreme Frost one that I have, and I mean, if you are scared of really shimmery or almost, I don't want to say glittery, but it does have like some mica reflect in it, then yeah, then this is definitely not for you. But I normally go in after I spray my face and I will pop this right on to the high points. Because this does have some glitter in it, I do tend to be a little more modest. So I normally will put it on with one brush, and then I will go over it with a clean one just to kind of blend. Now again, if you are not trying to have a blinding, beaming highlight, this product probably is not going to be up your alley. It does, I mean, if you have texture on your face, it's going to show it. But I don't really care, because, you know, I have skin and everybody has skin, and my skin is not completely poreless. So there you have it. This also is a fantastic lid shade if you do a cut crease, because again, I like using my products for more than one thing if I can, especially ones that are kind of pricey. So this was definitely a really awesome purchase this year, and I just kind of wish I would have bought a few more shades before this no buy that I'm on. Now, if you, like right here, I brought this over a little too far for where I wanted it. I just go over it with my sponge, and I do find that my sponge will pick some of it up. So I just do that just to make sure that it's where I want it to be, because I haven't been wearing concealer underneath my eyes for a little bit of time. I find that my under eyes look a lot better when there's not so much product underneath them. I have not found a light concealer that I enjoy the consistency of, that stays, that doesn't really tend to settle in fine lines. So I just figured, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm just not gonna wear it for right now. So that's where we're at. So I did want to mention some pressed glitters that I came upon early this year, and not even really early this year. I did a whole review video on glitters by Dear Katie Brown, and it is an indie company. She's been around for a few years now, and her glitters are just so pretty. If you do not like wearing pressed glitter, I would implore you to try this. I think that you would like them. I did purchase these, I want to say over the summer at some point. They're so beautiful, and they really do stay, which I love. Because I did kind of my orangey look, I'm actually going to use this color, and this is in the shade Renegade, and it kind of has a kind of like a pinky orange shift to it, so you can kind of see that. I really do enjoy her glitters. I don't normally put them on with a like a glitter glue. You can, of course, but I normally use a little bit, and I use it on one of the little silicone catchy brush thingies. I don't know what the real term is, but I just take that and you just press and it comes right off. And I normally only use a little bit unless I'm doing like a really intense look. Just for a little extra something, but she has real chunky colors, super fine colors. I enjoy them. I think that it really kind of gives your makeup that little extra something. And if you're a glitter girl like me, right up your alley. So make sure that you check those out as well. I think that we are at the end of the road here, folks. So for lips, my favorite lip of the year, and this was a hard one as well. Even though I'm not a super huge lippy fan, I do have a lot of them. It's like, I just like to buy them. I don't know why. My lip though of 2020 was definitely a Kylie lip, surprisingly. This is in the Bigger the Hoops. I love this. This is in the Cocoa by Kylie Cosmetics collection. And this color, it's such an easy color to wear. You can wear it, you know, super dressed up, very casual. I really, really like this color. So this was my pick of the year. So it doesn't stand out as much as, of course, the eyes do, but I think it's a nice balance. I probably wouldn't wear this with orange typically, but here we are. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'd love to know what your favorites were from 2020 from high-end, or are there any high-end items that I did not try that maybe I should look into? Of course, it's gonna be a while. But you know, I do have a Sephora gift card, so that will probably get used here in the next few months. So if you have any suggestions, make sure that you leave them in the comments below. If you've not done so already, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. That helps me out a great deal. Leave a comment, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.